and welcome to Meet the HRH Team series. My name is Araminta Johnson and I work with Heather Hayes and Associates Inc. Meet the Team is a series of interviews where we meet and get to know all of the core people within the HRH and Associates team. It gives me great pleasure to welcome Mary Turner. Mary, talk to me a little bit about your role at HRH.
Well, thank you, first of all, for having me. And I'm a family support specialist. And what that really means is I'm a licensed mental health clinician. And so I bring my years of experience working with not only clients, but the family particularly. And generally what I'll do is I come in after the crisis is sort of passed and the client is in treatment, and then I'll be introduced to the family. So I'll start helping them to navigate what's happening and how they can start to get on a trajectory of health as well. So alongside the client who might be in treatment.
I mean, I imagine that's extremely important in the work that the whole Heather R. Hayes and Associates team does, because, I mean, obviously the person with the substance abuse disorder or the mental health issue will have to, you know, as you say, seek help and will be able to get help. And often they are the person that everyone is focused on. But very often, I imagine the family is suffering, you know, in different ways and also needs to be on that healing journey.
Absolutely. Yeah, we really believe it's a family illness. Addiction doesn't, and mental illness doesn't leave anyone untouched. And what we really focus, which is somewhat novel, I hate to say, but because it has been for many years that you only treat the patient and we look at the whole family as the patient, and that they need support and education and counseling and sometimes even their own therapy and their own intervention. We really try to bring them in on the process, because even if they don't feel like they've been impacted, almost always they have been in some regard, and it's impacted their lives. And not to make the patient the villain or anything like that. Heather, talks about being held hostage in a way. Well, the hostage is the family system, frankly, and who has been trying to maneuver all these years, and they've done everything they possibly can to try to save their loved one. And that takes a lot of energy, and it's exhausting. And there's a lot of loss and grief involved with it. And we try to help mitigate that and get them on their own path of health. And it's quite rewarding.
I bet it is. I bet it really is rewarding. And I also think, actually, as you were talking, it kind of something occurred to me. I suppose there's such a process of change for the patient as they go through treatment, as they navigate their own mental health and addiction issues, that often as they change, if nothing else changes around them, it's almost like they change, and if they come out and their family is exactly the same, it's much easier to go back to the old ways, because they won't feel like they fit in anymore. Whereas at least if the family have shifted and altered on their own journeys as that person's gone through treatment, they will feel that everyone's, I guess they'll come out of treatment and feel like everything has grown and progressed together.
Absolutely, because patients will come back to their family systems, and if they're healthy, if they're somewhat healthy, we'll recommend that. But the family needs a lot of education. I mean, the families have questions about, what do I say? What don't I say? How do I behave? How do I convince them of something, of some kind of if we're having a party, do I invite them? I mean, they're just little steps along the way, and how to be in a supportive role, but also taking care of their own autonomy, because the family will also revert back to their own old behaviors as well. So they need behavior modification just like the patient does. And oftentimes oftentimes people are just thirsty for information and help and guidance and just compassion, and like, oh my gosh, somebody's finally, what do you mean talking about me? what do you mean about I need help? And then, some people are very resistant too, and they'll say, well, I don't have any problems, and that sort of thing. So we help to sort of point out or show where they can make an impact, not only for themselves, but also for the client. And then each case is individual, which I love about Heather, because in our team, we really handle all of our cases individually. We don't sort of put them all in one bucket and say, oh, this is good for you. Each one is attended to in a specific manner that will help them to reach health in recovery from mental illness and with addiction. So.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Mary. And my next question is just, how long have you worked in this industry?
I've worked in this industry in some capacity for about 25 years.
Wow, long time. So you know a lot all about how it works. And what would you say then are the values that drive you?
The values that drive me is really, the first is service to others. I grew up in a military family, so there's a lot of honor in helping others, but also being able to be in a dark place with people. I feel honored and to be able to sit beside somebody who's in a very dark space, to move out of that darkness into some light and some hope. Honesty is a big value, wanting to, sometimes I have to be brutally honest with people, but firm and loving at the same time.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And can you tell me who inspired you, if anyone, to pursue the career you have today?
That's a great question. I've really been inspired by my parents, my mom and dad, my brother, and who I'm very close with, being military. We're very, very close together. And my grandparents as well were also military. And then I've had some mentors along the way who've just been exquisite, amazing women who have found their voice and their courage. And then, Heather, of course, has been influential. But yeah, it seems that I've been put on a path for many years that I did try to get away from one time. And I was sort of do something different, and I was pulled right back. So I know I'm in the right place.
Obviously you love it. That's the thing, what they say about boomerangs: if it's meant to be, it'll always come back to you or something. Obviously.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And what is the best advice you could give to someone who is struggling either with their mental health or addiction?
You're not alone. Yeah, there's help and there's hope. And it's really amazing how people, they do feel so alone in such a dark place, and that nobody understands them. And when just a phone call or just showing up, and people are going to show up for you, and you have to have some blind faith.
And what do you enjoy then when you're not working?
When I'm not working, I love to travel. I love to ski. I play tennis. And I love visiting my daughter and my family.
And finally, my last question for you is, what is your secret talent that no one knows about?
Oh gosh, my secret talent. I can sing.
Can you? I'm not going to ask you to sing a tune.
No. I can hold a tune. How about that?
Right, amazing, Mary. It's been absolutely lovely chatting to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hopefully I'll see you again soon.